Welcome to a new video with the electric trucker. Today we're picking up our first 5 Mercedes eActros 600s and have a community charging party on the return trip to Leer. We're at Wörth am Rhein at the world's largest truck factory, and outside there are lots of eActros lined up, and they even have a truck charging park. We took a bus tour around the site and got a look at how everything is produced and assembled. A lot of components are assembled directly onto the chassis, including the electric axle. But when it gets to the final stages, the electric trucks are towed away and moved to a separate final assembly line because the production volumes are still much lower compared to combustion trucks. And the battery system on the eActros isn't made up of the usual modules like in other trucks. Instead, there are 3 large battery packs that are slid in under the frame. We're at the customer center, and right outside is a beautiful eActros 600 that made it all the way to the North Cape. I've just picked up a few interesting things during the session since it focuses a lot on safety and driver assistance systems. One key topic is the GSR, the General Safety Regulation, which has been in effect since July 2024 for all new trucks in Europe. Under this regulation, several safety features are mandatory on every new truck, including a driver attention assistant that warns you if you're driving erratically, traffic sign recognition, a blind spot warning system, a tire pressure monitoring system, a rear view camera, and a start-off assistant that monitors the area directly in front of the truck up to 15 kilometers per hour and warns if any pedestrians are in the way. Why is this relevant? Well, the first electric trucks we received were delivered fairly early, just before July, because they didn't meet this new regulation. So manufacturers rushed to get them registered before the rules kicked in. That's also why there was a bit of a delivery gap.
Trucks you can trust.
We've now officially received 5 Mercedes eActros 600. We've ordered 10, and the other 5 will be delivered later. 3 of them are already registered, and 2 still have red plates. They're not wrapped yet, but all of them are painted in red. The truck has a 621 kilowatt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery made up of 3 large battery packs mounted crosswise under the frame, each with 207 kilowatt-hours. What's great is the high usable capacity, 600 kilowatt-hours. The truck uses an electric axle with a 4-speed gearbox, a very modern drive concept. The look is a bit polarizing, but I really like it. It's much more aerodynamic with that sleek front. This is what electric vehicles look like nowadays. It's also impressive seeing so many of them gathered in one place. One thing I didn't even know, the truck actually has built-in beacon lights, which is pretty cool for heavy haulage. And they're very subtle, barely noticeable. The side and front ramp mirrors are still traditional glass mirrors, while the main side mirrors have gone digital. We are driving the first meters in the new eActros 600, and there's a lot to discover. The first thing you notice is the range. We started with around 950 kilometers, though that's without a trailer. Now we're down to about 880 kilometers. So technically we wouldn't even need to charge on our way home. The battery is currently the largest usable battery in any long-haul truck. The Iveco may have a larger total battery at 738 kilowatt-hours, but only 550 are usable. This one has 600 usable, which makes it the benchmark for long-distance electric trucks. And like every truck we've gotten so far, this steering wheel is misaligned too. All the truck manufacturers seem to be the same in that regard. There's a central display here that you can fully customize. You see the power and regen indicators, and it even tells you when it switches to mechanical braking. Down here is a boost function. You can change drive modes using the button on the side, between range, economy, and boost or power. When you go full power, it shows how it increases from 400 to 600 kilowatts. As a solo truck, it's kind of pointless, but with a trailer, it'll get really interesting. There's also a central display for climate control, navigation, and all vehicle settings. The cab is nice. You can fold the seat up for more space. There's a bed in the back and another one on top, so 2 people can travel in here. The dashboard is flat, which is handy for placing stuff. There's a charging pad for your phone and digital side mirrors. The design with these displays is very modern, but I'm not really a fan. I'd prefer it more integrated. This just looks like old dashboard with screens slapped on, but that's just personal taste. What's nice is that there's a lot of storage space, which is pretty cool. On the left buttons, you control cruise control and limiter. There's also a menu with tons of functions: trip meter, tachograph, assist systems, range, eco support, phone, media, navigation. It shows a lot of data because the vehicle can do a lot, but I think it's nicely organized. Could be way worse. There are quick access buttons too. You can swipe through it all on the screen itself, or use the buttons right of the steering wheel. Let's take a quick look at some other features under battery settings. It shows 87% and also has an energy flow display, so you can see where the power is going, to the rear axle and to the climate system. Small detail, but I love stuff like that in EVs. What's really interesting is the charging modes. It has a fast charge mode, where it charges with up to 400 kilowatts, or an eco mode, where it is limited to 100 kilowatts. I didn't mention this yet, but the truck has CCS ports on both sides. The right one costs extra. It's the first truck that can charge from both sides, which is super cool. You can also set a charging limit in 1% steps and set a departure time so it finishes charging right before you need to leave. Then there's the range charge mode. If a departure time is set, it'll precondition the interior while you're still plugged in to draw the energy from the grid so you use less on the road. That's a smart feature. You can see axle loads here. Front axle, 7 tons, rear, 4.4 tons. Total weight is 11.4 tons. It also has an AVAS system and a mode to help get unstuck. Hill start assist is here too, plus lane assist. And of course, multimedia. Phone, entertainment, navigation. It has classic cruise control, and with one button, you can adjust the following distance in 5 levels. Press it again, and it opens PPC, Predictive Powertrain Control, which helps the truck anticipate the route and start decelerating early to save energy. You can adjust a lot here. How much it should coast downhill, if it should carry momentum into dips to get up the next hill, and how much it's allowed to slow down uphill. All adjustable to the exact kilometers per hour. It even recognizes curves and slows down before them, so you can drive smoothly just with the cruise control. It also reacts to road signs and stops, but it works best if you use its navigation system. All in all, it's super modern. Everything you'd want in a next-gen truck. You can see the police up ahead, and we're supposed to follow them. Tom was driving in front of me. Let's see if he did something wrong. We're sticking together in solidarity. Tom must be getting nervous. He usually doesn't drive long distance. I think this is his first time. That was a rather quick inspection. They could see that the toll exemption was registered, but not for the trucks with red license plates, and they didn't realize they were electric trucks, but else they weren't interested in them. They left right away. I'm just glad they didn't read out my driver card. I played around a bit to figure out why it doesn't steer on its own. It has lane departure warning, so if you cross the line, it beeps. But it doesn't steer because we bought it without the active drive assist package. But honestly, I feel without it, you actually pay a bit more attention. We're in Hilden now, all 5 of us rolling through the intersection. We just rolled in, and there are a lot of people here. Pretty cool. I'm surprised how many people are here, but honestly, it makes me really happy. We just started a few charging sessions, and we're watching the charge curve. We plugged in at around 70%, and it still pulled the full 400 kilowatts. The vibe here at the charging park is great. Krumelix is a bit overwhelmed by the crowd, but it's cool that so many people care about electric trucks. We're in Hilden, and I've got Roland and Linda with me, the owners of the charging park. I set up a little community meetup, and it turned out a few more people showed up than expected. But it's no problem for the charging park in terms of people or charging power.
I was more nervous about whether our regular customers could still charge, but it worked out great.
Technically, this charging park is interesting too. We've got a bunch of fast chargers and superchargers, but there's also a solar system and a battery unit.
We have a 435 kilowatt peak solar system and a 2 megawatt hour battery, which balances out a lot, especially when many people are here like today.
But for a charging point operator, having that many cars charge all at once isn't ideal, right?
That's a speciality of the German power system. The price we pay combines usage fees and capacity fees. If we have peaks, even just once a year like today, we pay for that peak all year round. That means an extra 24 euros per year for every extra kilowatt. So I totally get why some CPOs say better not at our place, because if you're not prepared or don't have battery storage, you're looking at tens of thousands of euros extra per year. But of course, we keep an eye on it and manage everything so everyone still gets the power they need. That's why we were pretty relaxed about it.
That's the difference between car and truck charging parks. A truck charging park expects a bunch of trucks every Friday afternoon and pays that capacity fee for the peak power because that's their business model. A few years ago, when I was still naive, I did a Tesla light show here, and everyone showed up to charge, so we ended up having to pay a 5-figure bill on top because of the peak power. You could artificially limit the charging power, but you also have a promise to your customers that they don't have any charging delays.
I'm always advocating for hybrid charging parks where cars and trucks charge together, but the lesson is clear. One truck is fine, 2 trucks as well, but if the whole place fills up with trucks, it stresses the charging park.
We love having trucks at our charging parks, but the practical problem is that people and kids are walking around, and it's a whole different thing when a 40-ton truck drives through versus a regular car. There are many practical limitations as well. We'd actually need to build the ground much stronger. Germany has a ton of regulations around this.
But today really impressed me. As an early EV user, seeing the trucks go up to 400 kilowatts and hold it to 80% is just astonishing, considering where we started many years ago.
That was a really cool meetup. There were about 100 to 150 people, and they didn't come from nearby. One came 4 hours from near Stuttgart and another from Belgium. I got some nice little mica sausages as a gift because some people asked what Krumelix's favorite snack is. We arrived in Leer, and here are some stats. I drove 594 kilometers with a consumption of 61.1 kilowatt hours. Even though it was without a trailer, that's a top value. There's still 38% left in the battery, so that's almost 1,000 kilometers of range. What's really cool inside is this evening lighting. A soft blue glow or a warm orange light that you can also dim even while driving. It makes the cabin super cozy. And the absolute highlight is this button to light up the Mercedes star on the outside. At night, it looks absolutely amazing. And in case you haven't heard yet, the eTrucker app is finished and available for both Apple and Android. I've linked it in the description, and I'm looking forward to feedback from other eTruckers. In the next video, I'm heading to Gibraltar with the eActros 600. I'm really looking forward to it. If you want to see the video earlier, you can get early access with a YouTube membership. Wishing you a great rest of the day. Ciao.